Hey guys, what's up? Just want to make a quick video on putting 37s on your Jeep JL with stock wheels. I recently finally came across a good deal on a set of stock JK Rubicon wheels. Actually, I was wanting to have a set of trail tires. So what I'm going to do is daily drive on my stock wheels and tires to save the ball joints and to prevent excess wear to the brakes and keep my fuel mileage for my commute. And then whenever we go four-wheeling 3 or 4 or 5 times a year, I will swap on my set of trail tires, a used set of wheels and tires that I can wheel with and not worry about wearing them down or cutting a tire and losing my daily driver. So I got a set of these JK Rubicon wheels, which actually have I think a millimeter or 2 more back spacing than stock JL wheels. And I had the 37s mounted and put them on just to see how they would fit, and they fit perfectly. I am not using any spacers. I did a lot of research trying to figure out if these would work without having to use spacers, and I found a lot of kind of inconclusive discussions about what would work, what wouldn't work. Some say it would rub the rear shocks when you flex. Others would say you wouldn't have the clearance in the front end turning. So I just thought I'll just try it, see how it works, and I'll share my experience with y'all. And it ends up, I've been driving on these tires for several days. I've flexed it out and I've tested it, and the tires work perfectly. There's no clearance issues. The JK Rubicon wheels work perfectly. I used the JL lug nuts in the JK wheels. No issues there. Everything is torqued to spec. They run true, no rubbing, no clearance issues. The only thing you have to do when you're running 37s on a JL with no spacers is you just have to adjust your steering stops a couple turns. I ended up doing both sides to avoid hitting my control arms. I didn't want to rub the powder coating off. Ended up turning the steering stops, loosening them, pulling them out 3 full turns on each side. So in effect, I'm really only losing about, maybe at the most, a foot of turning radius. So if your turning radius is, let's say, 38 feet or 40 feet, now it would be 41 feet or 39 feet. So really nothing you would notice. I haven't noticed it at all in my parking and my driving around town. You making U-turns at lights, there's really no noticeable effect. And that clears my control arms. There's no rubbing. It's not rubbing up here on the fenders or the bumper. It fits this front Arcus bumper perfectly, having the 37s on here. The Jeep drives great. And flexing it out in the rear, I have a 2-inch spacer lift, and it fits perfectly with the bump stop extensions back here. Right when the bump stop is contacting this spacer, the tire is actually clearing this square portion by about 1/16 of an inch. And it's tucked up right up into the fender up here. You probably have another 1/2 or 3/4 of an inch before it hits the inner fender liner, which is great. There is no rubbing on the shock. Everything clears perfect. No issues whatsoever. And one thing I do like is how the tires are still inside the fenders. It's not overly narrow, it's just perfect. The sidewall is just at the outside of the fender, which keeps a lot of the mud and the rain, water from being thrown up on top of the Jeep. And the Jeep is also relatively stock looking. Really excited the way it turned out. Thought I would share it with y'all so you could see, yes, it can be done. You don't have to drop a couple $100 on a good set of spacers, and you don't have to put any more stress or wear on your ball joints by pushing your tires farther out by using a deeply backspaced wheel like this. I'm really excited. I actually like the look of the wheels. Even though it's just going to be a trail set of wheels and tires, it's nice that they look good too. I was surprised how good they look with that polished face with the black inside with the green. Really loving the Mojito. Well, I hope y'all have a great day. It's getting cold out here. We were planning on going wheeling before Thanksgiving, but there's just a lot going on, so it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But I hope y'all have a wonderful day, good weekends, good holidays. Don't eat too much. Take care, guys. See ya.